Hey Sequoia friends, welcome to another library and STEM lesson with Miss Clark, Miss McCollum, and Miss Card. First, we're going to read the story Bubble Bubble by Mercer Mayer. While you listen to the story, I want you to be thinking about 3 questions. The first is, what shape bubbles did our main character make? Second, what shape bubbles have you made before? And third, think about what type of bubble wands that you've used in the past. What shapes do you think you could make now? So listen to this story. These questions will show up again at the end, and I would like for you to just discuss them with your family while you're brainstorming your STEM activity. Enjoy!
Bubble Bubble by Mercer Mayer. One day, as I was walking, I bumped into a bubble. It wasn't just one bubble, but lots of bubbles. And they weren't just any kind of bubbles, they were magic bubbles. So I bought a magic bubble maker and said goodbye. I started blowing bubbles, magic bubbles, everywhere. Then suddenly, something strange happened. Uh-oh, I thought. I had to do something quick. So I blew another bubble. And that took care of that. At least I thought so. But I knew what to do. I blew some more bubbles. And that took care of that. I wasn't worried one small bit. I just blew another bubble, and that took care of that. I popped all the bubbles, one by one. Blowing bubbles made me tired, so I went home. Anyway, everyone knows there's no such thing as magic bubbles. The end.
Hey Sequoia, how is everyone? I hope you enjoyed the story by Mercer Mayer, Bubble Bubble. It got me really excited to go and blow some bubbles with my kids. But what I found out is that I don't really have much in the way of the materials that I need to do that. And it seems like such a simple activity, yet I am lacking in lots of ways. So I think I've got to problem solve this. As I was outside for a few moments, um, we're working on a home improvement thing in the backyard, and it kind of has uncovered lots and lots of dirt. And so I found one bubble wand, and I had to laugh really because I'm doing this lesson with you guys. But this was the bubble wand that I found in the dirt. You can see it's very dirty. It's got something sticky on the end, and I mean, it certainly works. I mean, it's smaller. If you take my hand to scale, it's about the size of one of my fingers. Okay, so anyway, I thought this is it. This is all I've got. Um, I'm like, surely I can make a bubble wand, right? So that is our challenge today, is we're going to make a bubble wand. So we want to use the engineering design process. You saw the slide that refreshed our memories on the 5 steps. We're asking that question, how do I design, create, and improve a bubble wand? Okay, so I've done this lesson a lot though in years past. It just so happens that this is the time of year, at least for me, that gets me excited about being outside and blowing bubbles, and the wind is blowing and it blows the bubbles everywhere, and so it's just really enjoyable. So I like to do that with you guys at school. And I typically do it with kindergarten and first graders. So my older Sequoia friends, you may have done a bubble wand lab in the past. So, use what you already know, because you have done this before, a lot of you. Use what you already know to imagine the materials that you might like to use to build your bubble wand. And, as we use the engineering design process, we always want to try and figure out a career that would align, that would go well with this activity. So mechanical engineers are what come to mind. And if you're not familiar with what a mechanical engineer would be and what they would do, look it up. I would like for you to get a little bit more idea as to how this bubble wand making activity could actually serve you well when you grow up and want to go out into the workforce. So keep that in mind. All right, so as we are coming up with some different materials that you have lying around the house, one material that comes to mind that I had to scrounge up. I mean, y'all, it's real. I do not have my classroom at my house, and I mean, my kids and I were just laughing at ourselves because we just got to make do. We've got to problem solve. If we don't have the materials, we got to problem solve, and what could we use instead? Because we're really being asked to stay home and limit our trips to the grocery store and other places where we might be able to easily get these materials. It's just not in our best interest to run those errands like like we're used to doing. So especially me. So I had to scrounge up this fuzzy stick. So I thought, well, this would be fun. I could use a fuzzy stick. Fuzzy sticks have lots of properties that would help me in designing my bubble wand. So before I would get to building, we want to plan it out, right? And so you get your paper, okay, and I want you to draw a little sketch. So I'm going to draw my sketch of the bubble wand that I would like to build. Okay, and when we sketch our bubble wand, you also want to label certain parts. Okay, so okay, I'm going to show you mine. Of course, it's just a little sketch, okay? So I want a heart-shaped bubble wand because I want to see if I can blow heart-shaped bubbles. I mean, the little boy in the story, he was blowing all kinds of different shaped bubbles. So I'm also going to label okay, so I've got a handle, I've got my heart shape, and then the whole thing I'm going to label as a fuzzy stick. So I'm going to only have my fuzzy stick as my material. Can I use more materials? Absolutely. In fact, I might need to use more materials when I get to that improve that improved stage. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so as you have your list of materials that you could use that you have lying around the house, you might need to come back to a material or two that you had on your list that would then serve you well to improve your design. Okay, so so here's my little sketch again. Okay, there. Oh, I'm using. You can see things on the back of it. I'm trying to reuse paper here, guys. So so that's my design there, and then I am going to take my fuzzy stick, and I'm going to start. I'm going to start doing it. Now, of course, you can use the same shape if you like, but it's also fun to try something that I'm not doing. So I like the fuzzy stick. The properties are that it's flexible, bendable. It has that little wire piece inside the fuzz, and so it makes it that way. I also like how it's soft and it's feels good on my fingers. Okay. Also, the I think that the bubble solution will actually stick well to the fuzz. So that's kind of where I'm going with all of this. So we'll see. And this is fun. Okay, so there's my little heart-shaped. There we go. Perfect. All right, so I've got my bubble wand, and I was going to do this outside, but of course there are dogs barking and there are kids playing and there are chainsaws that are making lots of noise. So I'm going to blow my bubble in the house. So shh, don't do it in the house, okay? But I'm going to put my bubble wand in my solution. I just have a little cup, and I'm just going to put it right in there and see if it works. Uh-oh, it didn't work. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it. Well, I got a little one. See, it might take a couple of tries. Oh, did you see it? I hope so. Okay, so I got that bubble, and now, I mean, if you do this outside, you can, try it again and again and again. I have a feeling, though, the more you use your bubble wand, you may begin to think of new ways or new ideas rather to try out, and maybe thinking of how you can improve. And so Mrs. Card is going to finish our lesson for us today and lead us into that improve phase. So what we did today, or what you did with me, is we talked about the engineering design process. We asked our question, how do we design, create, and improve a bubble wand? We imagined the materials that we were going to use and how we were going to build it. Then third, we planned it out and we did our sketch and labeled our sketch. Doesn't have to be, super detailed. It's just you want to have that available to get the wheels turning as you create and begin your build, okay? And then we built, we tested, and now it's time to improve. So boys and girls, I can't wait to see and hear what it is you come up with as your bubble wands are being built. So have fun, and here's Miss Card.
Hey Sequoia friends, so now that you guys have all had a chance to test out your bubble wands, I want to share something with you that I noticed. I noticed that when Miss McCollum was blowing her bubble, it didn't look like a heart. Did you guys notice that? She designed and she made a heart-shaped bubble wand, but when she blew the bubble didn't look like a heart. It actually looked like a sphere. Did you notice? I wonder why. The heart-shaped bubble wand didn't make a heart-shaped bubble. Did you all notice the bubbles that you blew out of your bubble wand, what shape they were? Pay attention as you blow bubbles out of your bubble wand, and I want to see if you notice what shapes come out of your bubble wand. I wonder why. So now I want us to go ahead and move on into the improving part of the engineering design process. So you guys have been imagining and planning and designing and creating and testing. And so now we're going to do a little improving. So I want you to think about your bubble wand, the one that you made. And so I'm going to reflect a little bit on the one that Miss McCollum made. So she made a heart-shaped bubble wand out of a fuzzy stick, and it was successful. When she tested it, she was able to blow a bubble. But I wonder if we can make it even better. So I want you to think about, when we do our improving stage in STEM Lab, what are some of the things we think about how to make it better? Maybe we can use different materials to make it better. Maybe we need to change the size or the shape of something to make it better. So since we're working at our homes, we all have different materials available to us. So we used a fuzzy stick to create our bubble wand. And so I wonder if there are other materials that I could use to make it better, because with the more I use my fuzzy stick bubble wand, it starts to get a little bit like wet and soggy at the end, and it gets harder to use because the fuzzy stick kind of retains that bubble solution there at the bottom, and it kind of starts to get really heavy. So I wonder if there's other materials that I could use for my bubble wand that would be a successful bubble wand, but that might maybe last longer and work longer. So I really liked the properties of that fuzzy stick because remember, they were bendable and I could make it into that heart. And so I liked that part of my bubble wand. So I'm going to try to think about other materials I might have. Maybe I have a plastic straw that I might want to try because I could bend that, but then still maybe it wouldn't get so wet. Or maybe I have some aluminum foil or some plastic wrap that I want to try. Or maybe I have like a plastic spoon that I think that might make a really good bubble wand handle, and then I could put something else on the end of it. So I want you to think about the materials that you made a list of at the beginning of our class today and see what other materials might work better. Maybe I just need to change one material. Maybe I'm going to use the same material, but I'm going to add another material to that to see if that makes it work better. So this is your chance to take your time to do some of that improving. We would love to see some of the pictures of your all's bubble wands. If you want to, as you're testing your bubble wands and playing with them, if you want to take a picture of them and send them to Miss Clark's email. Her email is kristen.clark@knoxschools.org. I will put a link, or I will put her email address at the end of our video for you. And then that way we can look at your bubble wand pictures. We might even be able to put some on our school's Instagram account or Knox County Schools, the library Twitter page. And then we also have 2 additional little challenges that we would like to give you today. So if you enjoyed playing with bubbles and this was a fun challenge for you, we have 2 extra little take it a step further options. The first one is we would like to challenge you to make your own bubble solution. So I know you can just buy big jugs of bubbles, a bubble solution, which we do at my house because we use bubbles a lot. But I have included a website for you that has 5 different bubble recipes on there. So I know since we're at home, we all have different ingredients. We all have different things at our houses. So maybe take a look at those 5 recipes. Maybe find 1 or 2 that has all the ingredients, that you have all the ingredients that the recipes call for, and test them out. Make those bubble solutions, see if they work. Maybe one works better than another. Maybe one works really good with your bubble wand. And then the last little challenge we have for you is if you would like to try to make a 3-dimensional bubble wand. That's really cool. You do need straws and fuzzy sticks for that challenge. We have a website that has a video on it at the end of our video lesson today. And if you do choose to try to make a 3-dimensional bubble wand, we would also really love to see those pictures as well. So I hope you guys had fun playing with bubbles today. I hope you enjoyed creating and designing and testing and improving your bubble wands. I hope you guys are staying safe at home. We cannot wait to see you. And I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend. Bye.